Hi there, welcome back to the channel. I'm Status FX, and in this video we will be looking at one of the two builds that I used for the 3.15 update for Path of Exile. And the skill today that we're going to be looking at is Eye of Winter combined with Hydrosphere. Now, the interaction between these two skills is actually pretty well known at this point, but if you don't know, how it works is essentially you place down the Hydrosphere, and then when you cast Eye of Winter, it chains off of the Hydrosphere and then redirects the projectiles. So you actually can have a lot more efficient single target when you combine the two skills this way. And then also, Hydrosphere helps a lot with clear. In fact, it adds, pretty much 90% of the clear speed that we have is because Hydrosphere is so fast and easy to use. You just kind of place it down and then you just drag it along as you run through the map, and it freezes enemies. And in our case, it actually applies two different curses because we have it supported with a Hex Touch support and two other curses, basically. We'll go ahead and touch more on what specifically we're using in the skills and gem link section of the video. Now, the name of the game today for this particular build is most definitely Clear Speed. It is so fast, and the reason it's so fast is because we're using Badge of the Brotherhood, which gives us frenzy charges, and we are stacking power charges. So we basically have 8 power charges and 8 frenzy charges. We also have elusive on crit and tailwind on crit, basically. So there's a lot to really get into with this build, and I had so much fun playing it. So yeah, I'm really excited to go ahead and share it with you guys today. First, we're going to go ahead and talk about the gear for the build. Now, you'll notice right off the bat that we are running a low-life version of the build, which has its own, disadvantages and advantages, which I wanted to go ahead and talk about a little bit before we go ahead and talk about what we're using here. Now, with low-life, some of the advantages that we get are that we get to use Pain Attunement, which is kind of like getting a another support gem onto our build, which is really nice. It's 30% more spell damage while on low life. Fantastic. So that's one thing that we get to take advantage of. But also, there's a few expedition encounters that deal with low life, and that's actually really nice. For instance, one of them is monsters deal increased critical strike chance against enemies that are on full life. And so we don't really have to worry about those modifiers. We can just throw those onto our expedition logbooks and encounters without having to worry about those extra critical strikes. There's quite a few other little things like that too. As well as we get to use things like Vol Discipline, and we are definitely using the Wicked Ward, which makes it so that when our energy shield has restarted recently, it doesn't stop regenerating or recovering, sorry. And then also a faster start of energy shield recharge. We're also using a Watcher's Eye that gives us 31% faster start of energy recharge while we're using Discipline. And we also have a ring that does that as well. So our energy shield restarts fairly often, and then we just regenerate a bunch of that. Now, when you combine that with something like Elusive, which we certainly get to take advantage of because of Badge of the Brotherhood, as well as these boots here, which gives us a 9% chance to gain Elusive on a critical strike, you get a lot of dodge chance that works into the build. And so being able to fully dodge hits when you're trying to wait for that energy shield to start really helps a lot. And then once it's started, your energy shield regens or recovers so fast that you don't really have to worry about damage for a little bit of time. So those are some really nice things when we're running low life and why it works so well with the build overall. And it synergizes with a lot of things. But let's talk about some of the disadvantages, because there's quite a few disadvantages as well. First off, running low life will make the cost of running Eye of Winter substantially more, because we did use 2 void batteries for a while there, but I didn't think it did provide a lot of damage. However, we we absolutely need that extra block chance, extra energy shield, as well as recover 5% of energy shield when you block. So this shield actually helped a lot with like getting one shot and things like that. But it does, things like this, and we have 6-link chevrons. We have Badge of the Brotherhood, which is 2 exalts. Snake Pit ring is pretty cheap. But then a lot of these other items, they can run you a lot of money, especially when you consider these boots. If you're going to try to buy these outright, you might be looking at somewhere like 5 or 6 exalts. Now, if you craft them, it could be substantially less. However, it's still a lot of investment to try and craft boots like this in some circumstances. So, because you do need a dual influence. You need Redeemer, you need Hunter, and you want a good base too. And then on top of that, you're looking at trying to spam a bunch of either alterations or chaos orbs, depending on how you're doing it there. So it does take a lot of time to kind of farm up these items. So that's definitely, I would say, a drawback. Now, if you're going life-based, which you most certainly could with this, we'd still be using these 2 items, but then the rest of these items here, that would be up to you to figure out. I do recommend getting at least minimum chance to gain elusive on crit if you're using Badge of the Brotherhood. There's another way to get elusive, which would be this passive node right here, No Witness. You could either just anoint this onto your amulet or just put in these 3 passive points. Either way, that's fine. Personally, I needed the anointment for Foresight to get extra energy shields to make the build feel good. Okay, that's it for the gear. So I'm just about to open the map here, open up the portals, and that way I can go ahead and show you the skills. But these are the mods that we're going to be running on this. It's pretty juicy, actually. Players have Elemental Equilibrium is definitely going to be affecting our damage a little bit. But I definitely wanted to show you a realistic look at what you could expect as far as clear speed and everything else when we are running a map. So before I go ahead and run the entire map, and I'm not going to show the whole thing on this video, but I wanted to show you what the skills look like. So we are using Frost Shield, which will boost our damage just ever so slightly, not much. But the main thing that we get here is a lot of defenses with dropping this, which is really, really important for us because we're low life. So definitely, I don't recommend if you're low life that you play the build without Frost Shield. You definitely want to have it. Now, basically what we're going to be doing when we're working this build is that we're going to be dropping the Hydrosphere, shooting Eye of Winter into it, and then occasionally dropping our Frost Shield if we have something really tough going on here. But most of the time, we're just going to be running straight through. So we drop the orb, we kill the enemies, and then we just drag the orb along. And every time we gain elusive, we get a nice little movement speed buff. But also, you'll notice that with Badge of the Brotherhood, it reduces the cooldown time on our Flame Dash. So we actually get quite a few uses of Flame Dash, and it feels very, very good. Now, if I wasn't going low life, and I didn't have the need for all the auras that I'm running, I would probably include Smoke Mine in with everything that we have going on, so that we could just increase our clear speed even further. But I do need a lot of these auras that I'm using, so I chose not to do that. If I was going to take out one aura that I currently have, it would probably be Precision. So the auras that I'm running, by the way, are in the next little bar here. So we are running Zealotry, Discipline, Clarity, Vitality, Herald of Ice, and then we have Precision here as well, which I didn't have enough space down on this bar, so I actually just basically cast it like this, and then I don't keep it on the bar because I don't want to accidentally press it. And you'll be able to see a lot of this in the paste bin as well, but I also wanted to go ahead and just show the way that I have my gem links set up. So with Vitality and Discipline, we're actually using those on Arrogance so that we can actually reserve that on Life. Arrogance does have 20% quality. Now, if you really wanted to min-max this, you could actually put Arrogance with an alternate quality that reduces the reservation. I don't know if that would let you fit in an additional aura, but I could totally see it. You know, if you're running Arrogance with, you know, running it on your life with maybe a 4-link, and you have, I don't know, maybe Vitality, Clarity, and Precision, maybe, and then, I don't know, you'd have to play around with it. You might be able to fit in an additional aura somewhere, and if you could, the extra aura that I would run would most likely be Hatred. I would even consider dropping Precision if you could fit Hatred in somewhere. So that's definitely a thought. The other way to do this might be with an Enlightened support gem. So if you had a high-level Enlightened support gem, you could put that in a 4-link with maybe Clarity, Hatred, and maybe some other things, and you could definitely see if running an extra Hatred aura is possible on this. Personally, I don't really have the currency right now to spend on an Enlightened support gem, and even the sockets right now, we're pretty starved for sockets. So the other things that I have going on are Flame Dash with Arcane Surge. I know everything is kind of a mess with this build, to be honest, right now. I have Vol Discipline sitting here, and then I have regular Discipline here. And now the reason that I have that is because I leveled up a regular Discipline on my own, and then I purchased Vol Discipline. Then I decided, well, maybe it's time to go ahead and see if I can corrupt this, and then we'll just see what happens. I went ahead and threw a Val Orb on my level 20 Discipline, and I got the +1 to spells, or sorry, +1 to gems or whatever. And so I hit a 21 Discipline. So the aura we're casting here is a level 21 Discipline, and then the aura for Vol Discipline is actually level 20. So that's why I have 2. Otherwise, it would be more efficient to get a level 21 Vol Discipline, and then you don't have to, you can just put it here, and you don't have to worry about having 2 gem slots taken up for that. So that's kind of an inefficient thing that definitely I would do if I had more time. So then level 20 Herald of Ice, we have level 20 Flame Dash with Arcane Surge to get us a little bit more mana and more spell damage. Frost Shield is with increased duration as well as increased area of effect. We have Hydrosphere linked with Frostbite, Temporal Chains, and Hex Touch support. And then on our 6th link, we have Eye of Winter, Unleash, Power Charge on Critical Strike, Increased Critical Strike Chance support, Increased Critical Damage support, and then Ice Bite support. Now, Ice Bite support is extremely important. That's actually how we're generating our Frenzy charges. Otherwise, there's no other possible way to do it. I've played around with anointing it with Disciple of the Slaughter, not Discipline of the Slaughter, Disciple of the Slaughter. I personally didn't like it because it's only an 8% chance to gain a Frenzy charge on kill. This, in my opinion, it was not high enough to, you know, keep the Frenzy charges sustained, because you also have a chance to lose Frenzy charges when you use a travel skill because of Badge of the Brotherhood. So, yeah, personally, just, you know, I don't recommend it. You're welcome to try and play around with something else if you'd like to possibly fit in like an added cold damage support instead or something else. Then over here on the boots, we have Zealotry, Precision, Clarity, and Steel Skin. Now, you could definitely play around with the slots, the sockets on your gear and get more efficient results. This is just what's working right now for me. And right now, I really have to say that I am liking this build. I like Eye of Winter, and I really like Hydrosphere in combination with it. It's been a lot of fun, and I've certainly never played with Hydrosphere or Eye of Winter. Of course, it's new for this league. So, yeah, that's my final thoughts. If you liked this video, please feel free to comment. Consider subscribing so that you can see the next video, which the one I'm going to be covering next is going to be my Spectral Shield Throw Gladiator build. I did one of those this league, so yeah, we'll take a look at that. Anyways, till next time, we will see you on the next video.